From the biggest moments
Can you believe it?
to gold medal championships,
Sidney Crosby, the golden goal!
it's your update on Canada's game. You're listening to the True North Ice podcast with Jacob Ewing and Caleb Schneider. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the True North Ice podcast, where we talk about everything Hockey Canada and everything Canadian hockey related. I'm Jacob Ewing, joined alongside my good buddy Caleb Schneider. Cale, how are we doing today?
I'm doing well. A couple weeks after a week after the Four Nations face-off, and got more to talk about, and I'm excited for this podcast. Do you want to let them know what we're talking about today?
I would love to, Caleb. We're looking into the future. 2026, when NHL players are allowed back in the Olympics, and we're doing some early predictions on
Yes,
what
sir.
we think the men's side will be, but also the women's team for men's and women hockey in Milan, Italy. Are you excited?
Yes, I am excited. It's going to be interesting. I was excited to dive into both sides. Obviously, last episode was just men, but it's going to be good to talk about some women, and I'm excited to see what you've got going on in your roster and see if you got any different rosters, see who's on and who's off.
I mean, I got a few tricks up my sleeve.
Okay.
I definitely
I'm
do.
excited.
You know, we really got a good look at the team after Four Nations. So, yeah, I'm also excited to see who you have. I know you have
Okay.
some very interesting takes. So
Yes.
let's get into it, why don't we?
Yeah. So we're going to start with the men first.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, sounds good. So I made two rosters. I did the men team that I want, and then I want the men's team that I think will be chosen. Which one do you want to start with?
Doesn't matter. How about
Okay.
how about we do this? How about we have a little bit of fun?
Okay.
We go player by player to start of who we think are locks.
Okay.
Locks for the team. So like
Locks. Okay. Yeah,
I'll start off Connor McDavid. We both know he's a lock for the
Yeah.
team. I want you to name one.
Lock. I've got Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah, okay. It's easy.
Mhm.
Lock Cale Makar.
Lock Jordan Bennington.
Okay, I agree. Lock Sidney Crosby.
I agree. I have him on my roster. Lock Sam Reinhart.
I also agree. I also have him on my roster.
Okay.
Lock Josh Morrissey.
Yep. I have him on mine. Yep. Lock Braden Point.
Okay, I also have Braden Point. That's okay.
Mm.
We're kind of getting to that territory now where like players like
yeah,
they're good,
yeah.
but like are they gonna make the roster?
I've got
Lock Mitchell Marner.
I've got him.
Okay.
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 I would say this is the final lock,
Okay. Then we
But-
can end it here. We can end it.
but yeah, but I'm saying I'm sure we have a couple more players that are on both our rosters.
Yeah, yeah.
But the only, I think, in my opinion, the last lock is we got Shea Theodore.
Okay. Okay. You know, I don't
Okay.
know if I'd call him a lock, but I also
Okay.
have him on my roster.
Okay.
So we're gonna cut it there because the second
Yeah.
half, like those are obviously we're gonna have all those players on both of our teams. So
I will say I think Shea Theodore has been a lock since any national team since probably 2020. He would have been on
Wow.
any national team.
okay.
But I think he's definitely a lock. Obviously got injured during the tournament, but maybe not a lock, but I think he's locked in.
Okay.
Obviously, and remember, bearing injuries, we're doing this a year out, so obviously this roster, what we have, will both be wrong, probably be because of an injury or two, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
All right.
How about you go first? I want to hear the roster that you want,
okay.
not that you
Yeah.
think Canada will do. The roster that you want.
Okay. The roster that I want, so you got Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby. We'll do forwards first, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
Okay. Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, Sam Reinhart, Mitch Marner, Braden Point, Sam Bennett, Seth Jarvis, Brandon Hagel. And then I've got Mark Scheifele, Connor Bedard, Macklin Celebrini, Nick Suzuki, and Mark Stone.
You're bringing Celebrini.
Yes, I am.
Why is that?
Well, if I'm being quite frank, I literally on my spreadsheet, I have, instead of him, I have Wyatt Johnston, but I'm thinking now I'd much rather have Macklin Celebrini. Just team I want it to be fun. I want them to be young. Obviously, Wyatt Johnston's young. He's got a little bit more, I'd say Wyatt Johnston has more defensive caliber. He's more of a defensive caliber player. but Macklin Celebrini is more fun. That is for sure.
Okay.
Hmm.
You know, Wyatt, I feel like Wyatt Johnson also has more experience, though.
Yes.
Maybe not that much
Mhm.
more, but, you know, he's got at least a year or two
Yeah,
on
he's
Macklin.
Macklin is obviously he's 18, and then Wyatt Johnson's 21, so 3 years. And Wyatt Johnson was like he definitely could have made the Four Nations team. That's for sure. Didn't make it, but remembering we have a year. Celebrini is going to get better, and it should be interesting. And obviously, Wyatt Johnson can still make this team.
Yeah, you don't have him on the team.
No, but I think he definitely could easily win a spot over Macklin Celebrini, and for the team I want.
Okay.
But we still got a year.
Okay, and so I heard some other names on there. You're bringing Bedsy, Connor
I
Bedard.
am. Yep.
Okay.
He had a rough start to this year, that's for sure, and he's definitely stepped it up now. He's playing with a whole whack of farmers that a lot of people have never heard of. Like Philip Kershev has been his line mate for a majority of his past 2 seasons. Philip Kershev's actually a pretty good player, but he's nothing like a freaking Nathan McKinnon or Connor McDavid. In my opinion, like you don't see Zach Hyman on this team. I see like if you want a player to play with Connor McDavid, I want to see Connor Bedard right there.
Okay.
I want to see a Connor Bedard, Nathan McKinnon, Connor McDavid line.
You know, you give him an extra year, another year to develop.
Got a year, exactly. That's
Next
the same with
February.
Celebrini.
Yeah, I just Celebrini. He's still in his rookie season. That's the
Yeah, and he's almost a point a game.
I guess so.
Which
I
is
guess
fair. Like, I'm curious who you have, but
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I want to
You have
talk
any
about. You bring Mark Scheifele,
bringing Mark Scheifele. He's having a good year, and
Yeah,
the
well,
Jets are a wagon. So
a snub for the Four Nations.
he was a snub, that's for
Yeah.
sure, and he can definitely perform. And remember, all these like players that we're talking about, Nick Suzuki, Connor Bedard, Macklin Celebrini, and Mark Scheifele, they're all playing on the fourth line anyways, and 2 of them are going to be scratched because I've got the 14 forwards, so 2 of them will be scratched for
Okay.
sure.
Okay, and so just finally before we go to the defense,
Yep.
I don't think I heard Brad Marchand's
I
name.
Did not have Brad Marchand.
The
on the
Canadian
roster.
legend. You're not bringing him.
No, he was bad at the Four Nations face-off. If he wasn't selected early, I don't think he would have made that team anyways. He was a great player for Team Canada. He's a great player. I think he's slowly falling off. The age is getting to him, but
But you know the physic. I mean, we didn't see the physicality in the rat that we saw at the Four Nations face-off. And like I feel like the aspect, if they could bring that out of him, he'd be so good at the Olympics.
he would. But will he do that? He didn't do it in the Four Nations, right?
This is true.
All right. Do you want to do your forwards and then we'll go to defense, or do you want me to go
Sure.
through the entire roster?
Let's keep it consistent. Let's
Okay.
keep it consistent. Let's go
Sounds good.
to my forwards. So, starting things off, I have Braden Point,
Okay.
Connor McDavid, Mitch Marner, Nathan McKinnon,
Mhm.
Sidney Crosby, Sam Reinhart.
Yep.
Guaranteed top 6.
Yep.
Okay. Seth Jarvis.
Yep.
Mark Scheifele,
Okay.
Mark Stone,
Okay.
Brandon Hagel,
Mm-hmm.
Sam Bennett, who I thought had
Yep.
incredible Four Nations, and then Brad Marchand. I'm
Okay.
also bringing. I have a lot of forwards here. I might have picked too many, but I'm gonna keep going.
Okay. It's 14, but let's hear them.
I have 15.
Okay.
I have 15.
So after you got to make your decision and cut one.
I'll cut one. I'll cut at the
Okay.
end.
Sounds good.
Here's the 3 that didn't play for the Four Nations team. Connor Bedard.
Mark Scheifele didn't play Four Nations.
Okay, yeah,
either.
sorry. Connor Bedard.
Yep.
Is I'm bringing easily.
Mhm.
Nick Suzuki.
Okay.
I'm bringing, and somebody you didn't have on your list, who I think they should have brought for the Four Nations face-off. Tom Wilson. Come to
Okay,
the
yes.
Olympics.
Yeah, definitely interesting. He had an electric start to this year. His pace has fallen off, but I mean, I think he's got 41 points in 50 games.
You bring him for the fourth line.
Yeah, but
Tom Wilson is the best, but be the best fourth liner
He would be.
on a very, very good team you could get.
That's true. And he would easily replace Brad Marchand. That's for sure.
I think you play them together. Okay, tell me about a line. Brad Marchand, Sam Bennett, Tom Wilson. Holy smokes. That would be
Yeah.
the greatest grinding checking line ever in
Now,
existence.
do you think an Austin Matthews or one of those crazy offensively talented USA players can't just carve them up, cut them through, break
And,
the defense after.
John Cooper's smart enough not to get that matchup going.
That's
And
fair.
even if that happens, I still have faith in my boys.
Okay.
You saw the way Sam Bennett was able to defend against the best players in the world.
Mhm.
He played that fourth line role with Brad, who had a terrible tournament, but I think he could pick it up.
Okay.
Add Tom Wilson, a little bit of scoring jazz.
Yeah.
He knows how to win, plays for the best team, second best team in the league right now in
Yeah.
the Washington Capitals.
Mhm.
I think you got to bring him. At least give him a shot.
Interesting.
I don't know if they gave him a shot for the Four Nations, but I think you give him a shot for the Olympics.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll see if he continues his pace, how he does in the playoffs, and how he starts next year.
Yeah.
But if he's still the same player he is the same time in December, I think you got to try him out.
Interesting. So you want to take more not grinders, but like tougher guys
For the fourth line,
for
yes.
the fourth line.
Like I brought my 4 players down on the roster for Four Nations were Mark Scheifele, Tom Wilson, Connor Bedard, and Nick Suzuki.
Okay.
Marchand, obviously. Oh, pardon me. Why am I saying Marchand? Tom Wilson.
Yeah.
Obviously going to play that grinder role. Mark Scheifele could do a bit of both.
Okay.
He's also, I think, because he can grind,
Yep.
but he's also offensive, and so I also think he could play that. Maybe I have him on the third line right now. Actually, third line center. I had Sam Bennett as my fourth liner, and then Connor Bedard. I even think Connor Bedard could play in the top 6.
I think so. I think like what I was saying earlier, I want him on the first line with Connor McDavid. I want him on the first line.
First line.
Yes.
Okay, tell me about that. Bedard, McDavid.
Bedard, McDavid, McKinnon. 2 goal scorers and Connor McDavid.
Okay.
That's what I want.
Okay. You know
Yes,
what?
they would run through Team Latvia. Come on.
I mean, we don't know that. We saw
It'd
the
be
World
so
Juniors.
much
We
fun.
saw the World Juniors, didn't we?
And yeah, but also to be fair, you were in the building for the World Juniors.
I
You
was.
will not be in Italy. So
Maybe you don't know.
you're not
No.
going to Italy.
Hockey Canada, True North Ice podcast is going places. Bring us to
Okay.
Milan. Bring
Okay.
us to Italy. We want to be the media team,
Yes.
baby.
Defense. So I've got 8 again. Like from what I've understanding, it's I think there's 4 scratches or 5 scratches. So I'm doing 14, 8, and then I got 3 goalies.
Okay, I also brought 8, so
Okay. We totally could have screwed that up too. I
that's
don't know.
whatever.
Whatever. Who
Whatever,
cares?
let's do it.
Who cares? Oh, also, who are you going to cut? You had 15. I want to hear what
Oh.
one you would get rid of. And just quick.
Quickly, I'm getting rid of Brad Marchand.
Okay. Okay, there you go. Defense. I've got Drew Doughty, Thomas Harley, Cale Makar, Shea Theodore, Josh Morrissey, Devin Taves, and then my 2 guys that I'm bringing, Dougie Hamilton and Mackenzie Weegar.
Drew Doughty.
Mhm.
You're giving I know he's
Drew Doughty will not be playing any game that's important. He will only be playing round robins. By the way,
you bring him for experience. Yeah.
I bring him for experience,
Okay.
just for fun. Why not?
Okay.
Put him on that roster. Why not?
And
One more
so,
shot.
Who else? Who did you name that wasn't on the Four Nations
It
roster?
was Dougie Hamilton and Mackenzie
Okay.
Weegar.
Okay. Why don't you give us a quick explanation on Dougie Hamilton?
Dougie Hamilton, he's currently I don't know how many. I think he's at 40 points with 60 games or whatever.
Yeah, he is. I checked
He's
that. Yeah.
I don't know if he was going to make the Four Nations. I don't think he was a big front runner, but I feel like given the team he's playing on, he's gonna get better even though he's so old. Like he's just gonna keep racking up the points. He's played every game this year, 60 games. Devils have played 60 games. He's been that defenseman, that number 1 D man on any team really, to be honest. He's always been strong and consistent other than injuries. Sure, he's been injured a couple times where it's been rough, but he's definitely proven himself, and at least in the NHL, not much in the international stage, but in the NHL, he's proven himself to make the team. And the Mackenzie Weegar, obviously, we know the story there. He was probably the next one up after Thomas Harley, I would assume. Obviously, we don't know exactly, but he played great in the World Championship, and this guy is blocking shots left, right, and center, and he's got an offensive touch too.
Okay. Now, just to reiterate, because I don't know if I heard you right, did you name Alex Pietrangelo?
I did not.
I missed that.
No, I do not want Alex Pietrangelo on this roster. Now, obviously, we know what happens. He missed the tournament, the Four Nations tournament, because of an illness or some sort, or I don't even remember, some sort of injury or surgery, something. He missed the tournament, but he played games before. So like they announced it, then he played games for Vegas and then didn't play. Sure, I'm pretty sure Pietrangelo had a say in this. I'm sure Vegas wanted him to not play in the tournament. And I don't want this guy on my team if he's not playing best on best, right?
It's the Olympics, though. He's going to show out for the Olympics. That's different.
I know, but I don't want this guy on my team.
So you're not saying it's skill-wise.
No, I think we're good with
dedication-wise.
I think we're good with Josh Morrissey, Devon Taves, and Kel McCarr. The other guys can just play defense. That's all I need.
Okay.
Pietrangelo plays defense, sure.
Okay.
Or he's a defensive player, I should say. I want defensive players, defensive defensemen. He can do that, but I'd rather take Dougie Hamilton, who can provide offensively, and probably is a little bit better defensively.
Okay. And where do you have Mackenzie Weegar slotting into this lineup?
Mackenzie Weegar will most likely be scratched every game. He'll be playing against like the crappy team like Latvia, but I don't see him playing a gold medal game or a semifinal game. So,
okay.
And if he plays, it's gonna be 15 minutes, and that's about it.
Okay. I don't mind the defense.
And like I don't have Colton Parayko or Travis Sanheim on my roster that I want. Personally, definitely Travis Sanheim. He was drowning in the Four Nations. I don't want to see that again. That was ugly. Parayko had the offensive touch, but I just don't want to see him again.
Okay. You know what? Fair enough. I don't mind that decor.
Okay.
I like the picks.
Yep.
Let me do mine.
Yes, let's hear it.
All right. Team Canada's defense. Here we go. I have Devontae's Kel McCarr's the number one pair. Then
I didn't do pairings. I just literally wrote out 14, but I like this.
I'm not really you're just gonna play those two together. You're gonna do your top pair.
Yeah,
that was obvious.
Yeah, it's obvious.
Okay, my next pair is Shea Theodore and Alex Pietrangelo. Okay,
Yep.
I'm bringing in Pietrangelo. I believe, has he played for Team Canada in the past? I mean, I guess we haven't had best on best for a while, but he is a little bit older.
He wouldn't have. I don't think he played in the World Cup, so
sure?
he probably did junior. I would assume he would have.
For some reason, I have an image of Alex Pietrangelo playing in a Team Canada jersey, but who knows?
Who knows?
Anyways, I feel like he would be. I don't know. He was the captain in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
He just knows he plays the big game.
Yeah.
I think you bring him. Big time player, big time things. Okay, moving on. My next pairing is Josh Morrissey.
Okay.
And actually, I'm not going to call this pairing, but Josh Morrissey. And I'm also bringing Mackenzie Weegar.
Okay.
So I'm bringing
I like
Weegar. I think, he was so dedicated to go to the Four Nations, just didn't come, obviously. But he said he was ready to cancel his vacation, drop everything, go right there, then and there. My final two defensemen, I have Thomas Harley, just like you did. Played a very good Four Nations face-off.
Yep.
And then I kind of regretting my decision,
Okay.
but I'm giving a very good look, and I want to know your reaction when I say this.
Okay.
Do you have a guess what I'm going to say?
I have two options. I could go safe one, Chris Tanev, or is it like Bowen Byram, something stupid like
It is neither.
Okay.
I am giving a look to Evan Bouchard.
Okay. Interesting. Can you break that down for me?
Evan Bouchard, big time player. Do you remember his stats from the playoffs last season?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell the audience?
You know what? They're great, but he's playing with the two greatest players in the world. And he was playing in the number 1 D spot, right?
And do you want to know something? The thing is, Caleb,
Let's hear
he
it.
is still playing with probably maybe even more of the greatest players in the world. He now has more of those great players to feed off of. His offensive touch to go right behind Cale Makar.
But
gonna be
where do you
perfect.
find power play time with Josh Morrissey and Cale Makar, where Evan Bouchard, sure, he's gotten better at even strength, but he still coughs at the puck and he does get sheltered. He would obviously get sheltered playing with Team Canada, but I just don't see a spot. You would only make the third pairing, and why would you take someone like Evan Bouchard to play the third pairing where he's a liability defensively, where he coughs up the puck too much?
I just like Evan Bouchard. The Bouche Bomb.
But you won't see the
play him in
Bush bomb.
You could play him in the second power play
You
unit
would
over
play-
Josh Morrissey.
No, I wouldn't want that. Josh Morrissey is like a top 3 defenseman in the league right now.
Okay. That's why I said I was on the fence about this. I still think you gave Evan Bouchard a look, but my replacement is going to be Colton Parayko, just
Okay.
because big body
Yep.
did all right in the Four Nations faceoff, held his own. I really like his size though, and I think you need that kind of size because he's massive,
That's yeah.
and that's exactly what you want from a third pairing defenseman. So when I was about to say Evan Bouchard, I was thinking about, I was like, he's probably not the best third pair guy. So give me Colton Parayko,
okay.
but give a good look to Evan Bouchard.
Okay, I like that. Do you want to go to goalies or?
I'll start goalies off. I would love to. Okay. In between the pipes, I will start things off. Not naming a starter.
Okay.
Not going to name a starter, but we both said our lock was Jordan Binnington.
Yep.
And he's got to be on the list. Definitely has to be on the list. Had a
Yes.
great Four Nations face-off. The reason maybe even won.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Aiden Hill.
Okay.
I bring Aiden Hill. Why? I think out of the 3 goalies, he's my third goalie.
Okay.
He's going to be my third goalie. But I bring him. They gave him the nod at Four Nations, and he has that cup experience. I just think you bring him. And
Interesting.
so I have Aiden Hill playing the third slot, though.
Mm-hmm.
My next goalie, which easily could be the starter over Binnington.
Yeah.
And I hope you also have him on your list, is Logan Thompson.
Yes, I have Logan Thompson on my list.
Okay, good.
Yes, he definitely deserves to make it. That's for sure.
I even think he'd be a starter. It
He
depends
could.
how his
Oh,
next
yeah,
season
easily.
goes.
Easily could have been this. Easily could be the starter. Depends. Yeah, obviously he's on a great capital team right now. I'll just quick go into mine. Mine is a little different. I've got Logan Thompson and Jordan Binnington, but instead of Aiden Hill, I've got Mackenzie Blackwood.
Okay, why don't you run us down with that?
Well, obviously he moved from the freaking Sharks to the Colorado Avalanche, and he's played pretty great. He's playing on a better team, obviously. He's young. He's only 28 years old, Mackenzie Blackwood. He is currently sitting at a 2.5 goals against average and a .916 save percentage. He's got 21 wins. I mean,
Okay.
he's doing well. I don't see him ever playing a game, but he's better than Sam Montembeault, and I would rather have him than Aiden Hill. And remember, I understand Aiden Hill. He's got the playoff pedigree. Obviously winning the cup a couple years ago. That's what I roll with.
Okay.
Mackenzie Blackwood could even win the cup this year.
Maybe. I don't know.
Out of the three
There's
goalies I've got on my
Is
list,
there enough depth on that?
plus
team?
Aiden Hill, I think.
Plus Aiden. No.
Listen.
No.
Out of
no,
Logan
no.
Thompson, Aiden Hill, Mackenzie
No.
Blackwood, and Jordan Binnington, I think Mackenzie Blackwood has the best chance of winning cup this year.
Wait. Blackwood, Hill, Biddington.
No, I've got Logan Thompson, Mackenzie Blackwood, Jordan Binnington.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But out of those 4 goalies, you have Blackwood the best chances. The Colorado Avalanche.
To win the cup.
Okay. We're not going to get into that.
No.
I don't agree. I think quickly Vegas is the best chance to win the cup out of those teams. Okay. Moving on. First of all, I know we mentioned this earlier in the show. Alex Pietrangelo did play for Team Canada in the World Cup of Hockey.
Okay, there we go.
And he also played a couple World Championships.
Okay.
And played the World Juniors twice. So yes, he
Okay.
has Canadian.
Interesting.
He has Team Canada experience. 3 points in 6 games in the World Cup of Hockey as well. I think
Okay.
you bring him. Okay. Moving
Okay.
on. That is our Team Men's Canada roster.
That we
Kind of
want.
the same.
Yeah.
We brought a lot of similar players. Yeah. Actually,
Are we doing what we think will be chosen? Who we think will be chosen?
You want to do that? I want you to do that.
Mine is really similar to my team that I want is pretty similar.
Yeah.
Basically, if you want to just quick here, the only change to the forward group is instead of Macklin Celebrity, Anthony Cirelli will come back. I've got Shifley, Bedard, Suzuki still there. Stone's coming back. I don't think Marchand makes this team. Defensive wise, I think Colton Parayko will come back instead of Dougie Hamilton. And goaltending wise, Aiden Hill will be back for Mackenzie Blackwood.
Okay, so what I had.
Yeah.
Okay, and quickly, I want to throw some names at you,
Okay.
and I want to know what you think about these players potentially playing for Team Canada.
Okay.
So we'll start off with Anthony Cirelli.
Just
quick description.
Yeah.
Just quick description.
Anthony
Quick fire.
Cirelli was a -4 in the plus-minus category for the tournament. I didn't like his game. He played with Brandon Hagel and Braden Point a lot, especially in crunch time, which John Cooper put out the Tampa line. Interesting decision, but why would you do that? I don't think he's going to make the team most likely because of John Cooper. I don't think he deserves it, but whatever. He is the fourth liner. Who cares?
Okay. Even quicker fire. Ready? Travis Sanheim.
He's a bum.
Okay. Travis Konechny.
He's another bum.
Okay. I did have.
No, he's not a bum, but
No.
we don't need him on the team.
Okay. I had Macklin Celebrini next because I didn't know if
Okay.
you were going to pick him, but you
Okay.
did.
I want to hear your thoughts. Matt Duchene.
Old, very good year this year.
Mhm.
I think there's better options. I think Mark Scheifele fills that role perfectly.
Okay. One more name for you. Chris Tanev.
Maybe.
Okay.
Very good defenseman. Somebody you want on your third pairing.
Yep.
I'd replace him with Colin Parayko if I had to.
Okay.
One more
I
for
like
you.
that.
2 more for you. 3
Okay.
more for you.
Yeah, go.
Jordan Kyrou.
Interesting. He's not that young anymore. I'd rather have Robert Thomas.
Okay. Quinton Byfield.
I love him, but he doesn't have a spot on this team.
Okay. And final one. Jonathan Tavares.
No. I don't even know what to say. The media loves him.
Yeah.
He doesn't deserve. I'd rather have Nick Suzuki. They do the same thing. Nick Suzuki has more points. Thank you very much, and is younger.
Okay. And just one more because I want to say
Okay.
Thomas Chabot.
Thomas Chabot, man, he should be.
Okay. I'm going to cut you off right there. I don't want any more.
Okay.
No more Chabot slander.
Okay. Well, I want to hear a name then.
Okay. One more.
Jonathan Huberdeau.
He's washed. Huberdeau is so washed. Yes, he might have an all right year this year. He
Okay.
does not deserve to be on his team. Maybe
Okay.
6 years ago.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait. One more. LeBron James.
He's the GOAT, bro. Yes.
Okay, let's move on.
All right.
Yes.
So that is our men's Team Canada team.
Mhm.
And we move over to the women's side,
Yes.
which is a bit different than the men's.
Yes, sir.
Yes, all these athletes play for the PWHL, but they
Yep.
also do represent Team Canada a lot more
a lot
often
more. Yep.
than the men's team does.
Got the rivalry series. They got a lot more tournaments. Definitely more interesting.
Yeah, and so Team Canada,
Yeah.
world champions last year, beat the U.S. I believe it was 6-5, and then actually just played the U.S. in a rivalry series, but a month ago, best of 5 this time,
Yeah.
and I believe it was 3-2. I came down to Game 5, I believe,
I believe so.
and Team Canada won it. So
Yes, sir.
we are on top of the world right now. Obviously, the discussion about how good this U.S. roster is very present, and it is always being compared to Canada. So Canada
Yep.
does not like extremely dominate the sport, maybe like they once did.
Yep.
But the U.S. are right there. Like, how can
Yes.
you like Hillary Knight is just such a phenomenal
Yep.
player. You can never count that team out.
That's obviously it's Canada's been there on top just a little bit every time. I don't know how many times a gold medal game against the U.S. has gone to overtime, like a winner take all
Right?
gold medal game. I feel like it's every year. It feels
I
like
feel
at
like
least
it's-
sometime, and
it's every game.
It feels like it. Yes.
Yes.
It's always back. Like I don't know. I don't remember USA winning many, if at all. But it always feels like it's one goal game. It's always a one goal game.
Do you know who wins it every single time?
Canada.
But do you know specific player who scores the overtime winner?
Well, we know Marie-Philippe Poulin scores a lot.
I swear, every time
Mhm.
they go to overtime, it's Marie-Philippe Poulin who scores the overtime winner. It's just,
It's
I don't know what
crazy.
it
Like,
is.
I there's so many that I just remember. Like there was one time she scored the OT winner, but the refs didn't call it in. Do you remember that? And then they just blow the horn. Like that one's just in my brain.
Yes, I do remember that.
They just blow the horn 30 seconds later.
Let's move on.
Yes.
Team Canada, the women's side.
Okay.
And so let's start with some big players.
Yep.
Some big players. Absolute lock, even for the captaincy, is
Yeah.
Marie-Philippe Poulin.
Correct.
Easily. Sarah Fillier,
Mm-hmm.
easily going to make the roster
Yep.
as well. Also, another player who's a lock is Sarah Nurse.
Yep.
Just because she has she's also good, but she has so much influence, I feel, especially in Canada for women's hockey, that she has to make 100%. This team.
Yeah.
Locks, I have Emily Clark.
Yep.
And Julia Gosling.
Mm-hmm.
I also have Brianna Jenner, another one of those players who has a tremendous amount of experience.
Okay.
I have Laura Stacey, who lit up the rivalry series.
Mm-hmm.
I believe she had 5 points in 3 games. I could be wrong on that, but she absolutely lit it up. Mm-hmm. And then finally, another player with lots of experience, Natalie Spooner. And those are my locks for... Actually, I didn't even name... Do you want to do the defense, or do you want to wait?
Just run through the defense.
Okay, and the 4 locks I have...
You've got there's a lot of locks.
Yes.
Like, that's a thing. They play so much.
Yeah.
You know who's a lock, right?
Yeah. And so my 4 locks for the defense are Claire Thompson having a great year, Renata Fast, Erin Ambrose, and Ella Shelton. Those are my 4 locks for Team Canada's defense. All those 4 players are having great years in the PWHL.
Yes.
They are almost even averaging point. Some of them are even averaging point per game almost. Especially Claire Thompson. I don't remember the exact amount of points she has right now. I'll see if I have it written down. I don't, but I know she is having a great year. 15 points in 20 games. That's what she has right now. In the 2022 Olympics, she had 13 points in 7 games.
Yes.
Over almost 2 points a game as a defenseman at the Olympics. She has experience. Renata Fast, 18 points in 21 games also in the PWHL this year. That's going to be a huge, maybe even top pairing. The defense is going to be so much offense on the defense. Those are my top 4. Caleb, I'll stop talking. You go.
Do you want to just do your goaltending locks while we're here?
Oh, sure.
Because there's 2, I'm pretty sure, that we both have.
Okay, how about you go first?
Well, I've got Emerence Mashmeyer, and then I've got Anne Renee Debien.
Yeah, I also have both those goalies.
Yeah.
Canada's goalies are just insane. Like really, really, really good.
They're both having great years in the PWHL, and they've been lights out every time they've played internationally, right? So
and I believe they both were just at the rivalry series as well. I forget who the starter was.
I believe, and well, at least for the Olympics, and the Debien she played 5 games, and I think Mashmeyer played 1, maybe 2, but Debien was the starter, so she played 5 games.
Okay, and so then I'll go on to my 3rd goalie.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna try not to butcher his name. Believe I'm gonna get this right. Is Corinne Schroeder?
I have her too. Yep, from NF,
plays for the Sirens,
New York.
Yep. Last season had a .930 save percentage.
Wow.
This season, .908. I believe those are probably the best numbers in the PWHL. If I'm wrong.
So. I believe so.
I could be wrong, but I believe...
I know the goaltending, like 908, is pretty good.
I was more talking about last season with the .930 in 15 games.
Even 908 is
still really good.
Mm.
Yeah. Still really good. So I think Schroeder should get the call.
Yep.
Even maybe
I have her on my list. Yep.
Okay. So we agree with the 3 goaltenders.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Canada has insane amount of goal. Total opposite of the men's side.
Yeah.
Complete opposite.
Yep.
We dominated goaltending, which is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on to maybe some of our maybe not so locks.
Yeah. Do you want me to just run through my forward list?
Sure. Okay. Let's do it. Actually, or do you want to go player for player, and I'll tell him if I also have that player on my list.
Okay. So I believe you ran through your forward lock so fast. I think there's one that you had on that I didn't have on my roster.
Okay.
But I honestly can't remember. But I'll just run through my list.
Sure.
Why not?
Sure.
I've got just, and these aren't in order of points or anything. These are just how I wrote them out. Got Daryl Watts, MPP, Sarah Fillier, Emma Malte, Sarah Nurse, Natalie Spooner, Emily Clark, Blair Turnbull, Laura Stacey, Brianne Jenner. Got Kristen O'Neill, Jamie Lee Rattray, and Jennifer Gardner. And to note, 3 of those players, Daryl Watts, Kristen O'Neill, and Jennifer Gardner, those 3 were not on the Olympic roster in 2022.
Yes. I had actually pretty much all of the same players. Did you name Emily Clark?
I did, yes.
Okay. I think the only player...
I might have skipped her, but she's on my list, yes.
So I think I had almost everybody you had except for one.
Yeah.
And that was... she plays for the Charge, Danielle Sardachny.
I do not have her on my list.
You do not have her on your list.
Mm-mm.
She plays for. I believe she played for Canada many times.
Oh, and yeah, she actually scored a golden goal. Actually,
Yeah, she did.
Women's world champion. Was it last year or
I
even
think
this
it
year?
was last year.
But yes, it was her. It was between her for the final spot. It was her, and it was Jamie Lee Rattray. I went with the older one, Jamie Lee Rattray. Rattray not doing as great in the PWHL as Serdachny, but it was close, and I went with the older
Okay.
one.
You know what? Yeah. So last year in the World Championship,
Yep.
Serdachny had 4 points in 7 games. This year for the Charge, not really having a year.
Yeah,
Only
they're both
seven-
having week
7 points in 20 games.
Rattray only has
Rattray,
6.
does Rattray also play for the Charge? Correct.
I believe.
She did at
Yeah,
one point.
she
I
plays
know
for
sure.
Boston.
Plays for Boston.
Boston now.
Okay, last year, correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
I believe so. But yeah, so even the thing is, you're right. Rattray is older.
Yeah.
Serdachny was in college just 2 years ago. She
Yeah.
played in a World Championship actually while she was still in college.
Yeah. She scored the one golden goal in the World Championship
Yep.
last year, and you know what? A golden goal. Does that get you on the roster?
I think it does. Listen,
you think it does?
This team, listen, we know the big names. We know Sarah Nurse.
Yeah.
We know Mary Philippe Plan. We know Brianne Jenner. We know Natalie Spooner.
Mhm.
These names have been around for so long that eventually you're going to have to bring the young guns up.
That's true.
And
Yep.
Serdachny
That makes sense.
has played in the big moments.
Yeah.
There's no reason why she's not on this team.
Okay, that's interesting, and I mean, it also is you want to win, right? And I don't think I've got 14. I've got 13. One player's gonna be scratched. I don't know if Serdachny was on the roster. I don't know if she gets scratched, but if it was Jamie Lee Rattray, I wonder if she'd get scratched.
So I also
Jennifer Gardner could be scratched along with O'Neill, but
yeah.
we'll see.
I also had Rattray. I took
Okay.
15 forwards. I took way too many.
Okay.
Just like the men's team.
I think I have 13. I screwed that
Okay.
up, but
Someone else I had down was her name is Jessie Eldridge or
Okay.
Eldridge, pardon me. 17 points in 20 games this season
Yeah.
for the Sirens.
Mhm.
Plays with Sarah Fillier, obviously
Yeah.
in New York, and they have connected so well. She was close, but got cut from the 2022 Olympics, so she's been down
Mm-hmm.
for been around for a while. But 17 points in 20 games is pretty good, and she has chemistry already with Fillier.
Mhm.
I don't remember if she's ever represented Canada at the national stage.
okay.
But just a player that when I was doing my research, she popped out to me. You know, she's almost point per game. A lot of these players are good and do
Yep.
average around point per game, but I think maybe even a little bit of depth scoring if she knows how to play her role.
Okay.
She's been around for a while. She's played in a world championship before. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
got all the features to be a
Okay.
good player.
Is there anything else you got on the forward core?
I think that is it. Yeah, I
All
think
right.
we had. I like all your picks. I
All right.
really like Daryl Watts.
Yeah.
18 points in 21 games, very
Nice.
offensive. The
Mhm.
only thing about Daryl Watts is you need to play her in a top 6 role.
Yeah. Hmm.
She's very offensive.
I could see her playing
It's
on
like,
the first line, definitely
yeah.
the second line, but she can't play. She's got to play up at the top.
Yeah, 100%. I
Yep.
don't know where you put her, but
I-
if she's going to be effective, you got to
Mhm.
play her in the top 6.
And if she's in the top 6, she will be effective. That's for sure. Playing with the player she's with.
100%.
Right.
I totally agree with you.
Okay.
Let's move on to the defense.
Yep.
So I named my 4 locks. I want to know if you also have those on your
Okay.
team.
I've got Ella Shelton,
I have
Renata Fast, Claire Thompson,
Yep.
Erin Ambrose.
Yeah, those are the big 4.
I've got Micah Zandy Hart, Jocelyn LaRocque, and the one that's the most interesting, I got Chloe Primerano.
I love
There
it.
we go.
And the thing is, I have this same exact
There we
7.
go.
And
Dang.
I don't think that Primerano is
Primerano, thank you.
I don't think that's a surprise.
No,
Yes,
it's not.
so,
I mean,
I
it's interesting given
both-
she's 18.
Exactly. We both know the story.
Yep.
Do you want to describe it a little bit? I have some notes if not.
I mean, she's currently right now on the Minnesota Golden Gophers, but she was drafted to the WHL, first ever woman to be drafted.
Seriously.
I believe so.
I didn't get that. Really?
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, she was drafted. I
I gotta
believe.
search this up.
I believe she was the first ever woman to be drafted in the CHL. But she's 18. She was the captain of the 18U team, whenever that was, last year or this year.
Wow.
She was, yeah. Isn't that crazy?
268th overall.
Yeah, it was low, but She got picked.
She
and that's
got
crazy,
picked.
no?
Damn
It is
right
crazy.
she got picked.
Yes. She's currently in Minnesota right now.
Good
She's
for
yeah.
Chloe. That is, I love that story.
Yeah.
So,
And you didn't know that? Wow.
no, I didn't. I
There you go.
I
The
was
more you
searching
know.
up about her, and I was learning she played for for the University of Minnesota and all this.
Yep.
I totally skipped past that she was drafted 268th overall to the Vancouver Giants.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Has she ever played in the WHL? I don't think so.
No, she hasn't. No.
No?
She's not going to play in
But
the
no.
WHL.
But she is.
But she was. She was drafted.
Yeah, that is still phenomenal. I love that.
Uh-huh.
I love it. So, Pry Moreno, 18 years old,
Yep.
plays for Minnesota, 10 points in 6 games, being the captain when she was at the under 18s.
Yep.
The captain of that team, over point per game, almost even 2 points per game. Future of Canada's defense, easily. And you got to bring her for the experience.
You have to bring her. Oh, yeah.
It's like Bedard.
Yeah, exactly. You just need to bring her. It's going to be great. She's going to do well. I'm sure, she probably will find her spot or find herself on, playing the gold medal game. I think she's that good.
Really?
I think she takes out Jocelyn LaRocker, Micah Zandi Hart, but
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
So, I
She's the only, also
agree.
to note she's the only player that's not on a PWHL team too.
I also do want to talk about Jocelyn LaRock.
Yep.
Very old.
You're very
for
old.
hockey.
She's the
for
oldest
hockey.
one.
For
Yep.
30, she's 36 years old.
The oldest player.
Thing is, we both know if you're old, you're a veteran. You had experience. She's
Exactly.
played 11 years of experience for Team Canada.
Okay.
She loves to play for Canada.
Okay.
Wears her heart on her chest. She loves
Yes.
Canada.
Yes,
Wait,
I'm
she
sure.
played-
Hot take. I think every player on this roster loves Canada.
Okay, fair enough. What I was trying to say is she plays for her country.
Yep.
She plays for the crest. She plays for the flag.
Yep.
She has lots of pride, and that when you have that type of brings a lot of motivation.
Yeah.
Especially, I think she could play a bottom pairing role or even that seventh defenseman. That's what she's going to be.
Yeah.
But if she's going to get minutes, she's going to play that bottom role.
Yeah, she will. That's for sure. And obviously somebody's gonna be scratched for that gold medal and probably semifinal game. But everybody's gonna get in this, and everybody's gonna have a shot to play and prove themselves to make those last 2 games. 36 years of age. It's gonna be interesting, just like Drew Doughty, I'd say. We'll see.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we still got a year or 2. Remember that. So
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I also do like the Zandy Hart poll. I
Yep.
had her also on my list.
Yep.
I think her and then LaRock and then Pry Moreno kind of juggle around
Yeah.
who could play where. I do maybe see her maybe as a 7th defenseman.
Okay.
She missed the 2024 World Cup. The captain of the New York Sirens right now.
Yep.
So she does bring that leadership. A lot of leadership. She's one of the. There's only 6 captains in the PWHL. She's one of them. 7 assists this year in 19 games, and she did play 2 games in the rivalry series this year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, produced nothing, which is
Yeah,
okay. She only
that's
played 2
okay.
games. She played a
Yeah,
role.
yeah.
She played a role.
Yeah. Everybody. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind Zandy Hart. I do think she will play that 7th defenseman though.
Okay.
Only time will tell.
Yeah.
Kind of. I think Chloe Pry Moreno, you have to play in your top 6. That third pair defending.
Yeah.
Zandy Hart or LaRock. That's the real question.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't really have anything else on defense. Is there any other things you have defense or even goalie wise, Jake?
No, I think we're good. I think we clarified the goalies earlier. You have the big 3 that are going to get the start for you. And on the defense, I think we clarified, we had the same 7.
Yep.
At least. I think it's really good top heavy, and then your bottom pairing, a little bit of young, a little bit of veteran, but some shutdown players brings a little bit of leadership with LaRock and Zandy Hart. I think it's going to be a solid team, hoping for another gold, obviously. Still a year away. So much can happen to the women's team or even the men's team. We'll have world championships in between that. We'll see a little bit from the men's team because maybe some of those fringe players will play in the world championship as they always do. And then I will definitely see probably the best on best women
for
at
sure.
the world championship, which is
Easily.
always creates some great moments.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Any other thoughts on the women's roster? I've got a couple questions for you. It's about the men, but I'm curious. Is there any other thoughts?
I don't think so.
No,
I'm excited. Yeah, I think the PWHL season is
It's banging.
it's banging.
It's banging.
Banging right now. About 20 games in,
Yeah.
20 to 15 around there.
Yeah.
Coming up to the playoffs soon.
Yes,
Should
sir.
be intense. Go Charge, go. And Yeah.
Yeah. I have not picked a team yet. I will be picking a team soon. Maybe it'll be announced on this podcast. FYI to the viewers.
Maybe. Wow.
It will be. Episode 6, I will be announcing my fandom.
Okay. Love
Book it.
Love it.
All right?
Mark
Write
your
that
calendars.
down.
Yeah.
Viewers, you better be here. It's going to be the first thing, episode 6. Stay tuned. All right. Jake, I do have a couple questions. It's about the men. Do you see Sidney Crosby making the 2030 Olympic team?
How old is he? 37 right now?
37.
37?
So I think he'd be 41, 42.
I do not see him making the
Okay.
2030 Olympic team. Too much talent. Celebrini, he's a center. Celebrini, Big Bedard will all be developed. McDavid will be still McDavid.
McDavid will be worse by then.
Okay, not that much worse though.
He'll be weaker.
Not weaker than Crosby.
Okay, who will be the number 1 center in 2030?
McDavid.
You don't take Macklin, Celebrini, or Connor Bedard? You don't take those chances?
No.
Okay.
No. How old? Both Bedard will be 24, 25.
Yeah. That's
just
prime.
entering his
That's
just
prime
entering
time.
his prime, probably.
Yeah.
McDavid will still be in his prime. Will be 33 years old.
Yeah, I would rather have a player 25 than
It's a joke.
33. No, not a joke. I would
Okay.
rather have that.
Who's your 4 centers?
Four
2025.
centers 2025.
It's too far away, or is it too far away?
2035?
2030. 2030.
2030? Oh,
Sorry,
2030?
I don't know why I said that.
4 centers. Well, I would go first. Okay, I can't list them. That's too hard. I've got Macklin, Celebrini, Connor Bedard, Connor McDavid. Do I want Nathan McKinnon on? No.
Yes,
Here, listen.
yes.
Listen.
Okay.
Connor McDavid on the wing, Nathan McKinnon center.
Okay.
Fourth line, I don't know. Give it to
Sam Bennett.
Sam Bennett. He'll still
Cheers.
be around. Why not?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, do you agree? Those 3 and then some random guy?
Those 3. Yeah. It's
Okay.
gonna be McDavid. It's gonna be Celebrini. It's gonna be
if
Bedard.
Crosby makes the 2030,
Wait.
he'll be a winger too. FYI.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. McDavid, Bedard, Celebrini, Crosby on the 4th line center. He's
Yeah.
old,
So
and
now
he's gonna
you're
play the
changing your
checking
mind.
line.
So now you're changing your mind.
Just in that role, because
I think he does. Come on.
My philosophy thinking about this was, it's Crosby. He's going to play in the top 6. He's too old. He's not going to be able to play in the top 6. But what if he's going to do it for Canada? He will switch the way he plays to play
Yeah.
that 4th line
Yeah.
in 2030.
Not many players retire as a first line center. They'll age, and
Yeah.
they're gonna have to play a lower role.
You're right.
Right?
You're
So,
very right. Yeah.
Obviously, he's not playing first line center on Team Canada for
No.
4 Nations or even next year, but he will not be when he retires. He will not be the first line center of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Not your. Oh no.
Actually, well,
He probably will be. Pittsburgh
they got a terrible
sucks.
pipeline. They got a
Pittsburgh
terrible
sucks,
pipeline.
So
That's true.
nah,
Yes.
trust me,
We'll
Rutger.
see.
Don't forget about Rutger McGroarty.
Yeah,
Future.
he just got hammered the other night in a big fight. Did you see that?
I did.
AHL?
I did. Yes, the AHL. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, I did.
That was crazy.
That was pretty crazy.
Um,
Okay.
you have any more questions? Let's hear it.
I don't think so.
Okay. When do you think Connor McDavid doesn't make a national team? What year?
How old is he right now? 29?
He's 29.
28, 29 around
He's
there.
he's almost been in the league
Yeah.
for 10 years.
Yeah, it's true.
Or it has been now.
So, like 28, 29, I don't think give him 12 more years. That's
So
what-
40. So 12. So 3 Olympic teams.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Is that including next year's too?
Yeah. The
20
2026, 2030, and then 2034. That would be 8. Oh, so you would give him 1. I can't do math, guys.
I gave him 38 as well.
Okay.
Nah. Yeah. 38.
38, like age 38?
No, 38 Olympics.
Yes, correct. Yes, okay. My brain had to think. Yep. I was thinking 38 wasn't the Olympic year, but it is. I'm just stupid.
It's okay.
Yep.
Would you?
Huh?
Would you give it 38?
It's tough. 12 years.
Think about Crosby.
But Crosby is more generational. Okay.
That's wild.
Yeah, I had to whisper it.
Wow.
Yeah, I know people are going to go after me for that. Hand up, I would rather see Sidney Crosby at age 50 play for a national team than Connor McDavid at age 50 play for a national team.
Like, maybe I can actually agree with that, just because I think Crosby could play his role better than
Yeah,
McDavid.
he's
can
young.
at the
He
bottom
could.
six.
I see Sidney Crosby being a better Jaromir Jagr than Connor McDavid would be.
But Connor McDavid's not old like Crosby is. We don't know how good he is. Like,
We'll see.
Maybe Connor McDavid will never need to be a Yager because Connor McDavid will just be Connor McDavid for the rest of his life.
Cupless too. Right?
Yeah, you know what? Right now, yes.
Yeah,
Right now,
and
right.
probably forever, right?
Yeah.
Hand up. This will make you feel good. Ottawa Senators will win a cup before the Edmonton Oilers.
That makes me feel great.
Yes.
Do
Do you agree?
I do agree because I think the Edmonton Oilers are going to win next year, and that means the Sens are going to win this year.
There you go.
So there
Bang.
we go.
They
There we
got to
go.
make it first, though.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so I'll throw this
Okay,
one at you.
let's hear
I'm
it.
going to throw this one at you.
Yep.
I'm a big prospect guy.
Mhm.
Big prospect guy.
Yep.
2030.
Okay.
Gavin McKenna. Does he make Team Canada? Kind of the same discussion about Bedard and Celebrini
This is
right
interesting.
now. Well,
You got
thing is-
Matthew Schaefer,
actually-
too.
ooh,
And we got-
Schaefer, I think.
I wonder, does
Could be
Berkeley
locked.
Catton? I don't know if Berkeley Catton has the same ceiling. He's a year older, though. That's
He's-
also an interesting.
Berkeley Catton is good.
He's a year
Definitely
older,
not the
though.
same ceiling as Gavin
No,
McKenna.
yeah, he's a year
Not
older.
at
though.
all.
Remember that he'll be 1 year older
Then who?
than McKenna.
2030 Olympics, McKenna will be 21 years old, 21 or 22
Oh,
years
yeah.
old. He's making the
He's
team.
making that team
He'll
easily.
make the team right now.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, I'm excited to see him at the World Jays this year.
Okay.
We'll see how it does
We will see.
at the World Juniors.
Yeah, that's a year away,
No,
almost
10 months.
10 months.
Greatest
That's-
time
there
of the
you go.
year, but we'll see.
That's- Are the World Juniors more fun than the Olympics?
We haven't had Olympics in so long that I don't even remember what it feels like to.
Okay.
All right, Caleb. Let's go
Yep.
back to what we were doing earlier.
Yep.
Names for next year's Olympic team. I want to know your thoughts. Keep it short. Keep
Yep.
it sweet. Let me start off with Steven Stamkos.
No, he's too old and he sucks.
doesn't
My
suck.
turn.
Plays for a bad team.
He plays for a bad team, and he's just too old. And I'd rather see Connor Bedard.
Okay.
Okay, I've got a double. We got Dylan Strome and Pierre-Luc Dubois, both on the same team.
Pierre-Luc Dubois underachieved for so long.
Yeah.
And now since he's on a good team, doesn't mean he gets to play for Team Canada.
Okay,
I don't think he lives up for the big moment. And Ryan Strome, pardon me.
Yeah.
Dylan Strome. I actually like Dylan Strome more than I like Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Mhm.
I still don't think he's Team Canada caliber, not at all. Although he is having a really good year this year. Crazy year.
Mhm.
Do you have the points pulled up? Maybe.
for Dylan Strome,
Yeah.
he's got 59 points in 58 games.
Like, that is really good.
That is really good.
That is really good. But he's also feeding the grade 8. So
That's fair. He scores every night, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think Dylan Strome makes the roster.
I feel like most of these players don't, but I'm just curious in your thoughts.
Yeah, Darnell Nurse.
Why is that even a question? Like, he doesn't even make Team Latvia.
Okay, wow. Your turn.
Let's go with Drake Batherson.
My goat,
Your go.
Drake. I think
Even though he's born in the USA, he played for the junior team in Canada.
he did. He played. Yeah, he did. He grew up in Canada.
Yes.
Yeah, he did. Drake. Really good player. Well, good player.
Okay.
Really at the beginning of this year and about midway through the year as well, looked like he was about to have point per game. Looked like he was about to have a career year. Everything, been a bit slower
Yeah.
in the latter half of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he makes the team. But he's still. I think he's about 25 right now.
Yeah.
24. He's still a little bit young. He just needs to put a full season together. Some nights he looks like our best player for the Sens. I'm a Sens fan.
Yep.
And other nights he looks invisible. Like
He's
sometimes
been
like,
invisible for the past 2 weeks,
he
too.
really has. That's what I'm saying. The latter half of Jarek Batherson's year has been bad. And now with Brady Tkachuk and Josh Norris and Shane Pinto out of the lineup when he's supposed to elevate his
Yep.
game, he's playing probably the worst hockey he has played this year.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Drake Batherson, love the guy. Don't think he makes Team Canada right now.
Okay.
Although he has had decent world championships in the past for Team Canada. So,
Yep.
we could even
That's
see him
for
this year. Probably
Well,
won't because the Sens will be in the playoffs.
Yeah, Sens
but-
will be winning the cup. You
Yeah,
won't have
so
time for that.
we
right?
probably won't see him this year, but
No,
maybe next year.
yeah, next year. Yeah. Your turn.
Okay, my next player for you. Let me find one right now. I'm going to go with Morgan Riley.
Morgan Riley. I honestly don't even know what he's done this year. Man, he's never been in really the conversation to make any team. Maybe in 2022 if they went to the Olympics, but
You don't think so? I
No.
heard Morgan Riley's name a little bit
a little bit.
when discussing the roster. For
I don't think
Nations.
he deserves it.
Okay.
No. Okay, I do have a question. This isn't really. Did you have Anthony Cirelli on your
I
roster?
did not know.
Okay. Did you know that Jonathan Huberdeau only has one less point than Anthony Cirelli?
Stop this Huberdeau glaze, bro. Huberdeau is washed. I don't care how many points he has. He's
Wait,
washed.
okay.
And he
Who would
sucks.
you rather have on Team Canada? Nazem Kadri or Jonathan Huberdeau?
What wing does Kadri play?
Kadri plays center.
Kadri plays center. I meant Huberdeau. What wing does Huberdeau play?
He plays either, but I think he's better on the left.
It depends what you like. I'd probably say Nazem Kadri.
Okay.
I'd probably say Kadri. I feel like he's also like a gritty player.
Hmm.
He could play that bottom six role. I think he could play it well too.
Yep.
I'd say Kadri. I like Kadri.
Okay.
Play that gritty chicken line, still score
Mm.
in your face type of guy. Let's go with Owen Power.
He is a candidate for later. Like not this Olympics, 2030 in 5 years, I think he could step it up. If he ever finds a way to play with Rasmus Dahlin, that'd be interesting. He'd have to move to his off side, like to the other side. That'd be interesting, and he definitely could earn a spot that way.
Hmm.
But if he's playing behind Dahlin, it's going to be tough for him. He's not making, like, I don't know. Yeah. I just don't really see him having a spot on any Team Canada unless he, like 2030 possibly, but he's got to outplay Rasmus Dahlin, who's been a stud for a long time. No.
Yeah. I'll throw one at you again, Zach.
Okay. We already went over it. I'd rather have like a Connor Bedard play with Connor McDavid than a Zach Hyman play with Connor McDavid. Connor Bedard I don't even know what Zach Hyman's been doing this year.
19 goals, 14 assists, 33 points
Yeah,
in
ouch.
53 games.
That's ugly. I don't want that on my team.
Okay, wow. Short and sweet.
I'd rather have Jonathan Huberdeau than Zach Hyman.
That is a very controversial take. I don't know if I
It's
agree
not
with that.
though. I'd rather have Jonathan Huberdeau. He is old. He looks like a Canadian. Zach Hyman, he looks like a Canadian, but Jonathan Huberdeau looks like the guy that pulls up to Tim Hortons every morning at 6 a.m. I want that Canadian on my team.
Bro, screw that. That is crazy.
Okay. Secretly quiet season. What about Gabriel Velarde? Do you even know how many points he has?
Yeah, no, I was about to ask.
Okay, let's test it here. Guess how many points he has. He's played 59 games.
He's also on a wagon.
He is on a wagon.
59 games,
59 games. How many
45 points.
45?
Yep.
He's got 54. Wow. And he's only 25
I
years old.
heard something about him. I knew he's having a really good year.
26 goals.
I don't take him.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't take him either. But on Mark Stone.
No. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't take him. I don't take him.
I don't know. Mark Stone didn't have a spot on the Four Nations team. Like, he just was out of sorts, I think. But I don't know. I would be interested to see what Gabriel Velarde would look like.
Yeah, I think. Listen,
But this is his best year.
hear me out.
And probably his best
Hear
year
me
ever.
out. Send them to the World. Jets are going to be in the playoffs. If
Frick.
the Jets get first rounded, send them to the World Championship.
It's possible.
And let the man cook. If he has a great
Yeah.
year, send him to the
You know
Olympics.
what? Just Just send him to the World Championship. Why not? Don't even play
Take
in the
him off
playoffs.
the Jets. Take him off
Yeah,
the Jets
just
mid
trade him.
playoff run. No, don't even trade him. Just let
No,
him
no,
go.
no. Just trade him to the World Junior Championship.
Okay.
Why not?
For who?
For cash.
Okay.
The Jets need it.
Future consideration.
Futures considerations.
All right, my next player is, just because I see he's having an all right year stat-wise, Dylan Holloway.
Dylan Holloway. He's a feel-good story because he left the Oilers and is actually doing really well. I like that.
42 points, 59 games.
I love that. Good for him. He could be good at the World Championship. He could shine.
Okay, I got one more name for you.
Okay, one more name and then we'll wrap her up.
And I know he had an incredible start to the season.
Yep.
Looks like maybe he cooled off a little bit. It is Connor McMichael.
Connor McMichael. Man, he had a really good start to the year with the Caps, and the Caps just had so many unexpected names were just great all of a sudden for the Caps. Alexei Protas. Have you even heard of him?
I have, yeah.
He was like a rookie in 2021. He's tall. He's freaking tall. He's like, I watched him at a preseason game. He's like freaking 6'7" on skates, just like Tage Thompson is crazy. Connor McMichael would be interesting. Never going to make the team though.
Okay.
All right, Jake. Is there any other thoughts you got? We kind of snapped it around. I like that at the end. Any thoughts? Wrap her up.
I don't think so. I just think
All
I'm
right.
super excited
Yes,
for the
sir.
Olympics next year. I know this is so early.
So
a year
early.
before,
Yeah, we're both wrong.
we're probably going to be wrong. Like,
Oh, easily.
my Evan Bouchard poll, probably going to be wrong.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Evan Bouchard might be on an AHL team by that time.
Okay,
next
that
year.
is crazy. I don't see that happening, but honestly, it's screwed. I know you're a Flames fan.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Last thing, Rogers. Since our predictions are so good, please ship us out to Italy. We'll do everything.
Right?
We'll do everything for you.
We'll do
We'll
everything.
even call the games.
We would call the games
We
in
could
an
call the
instant.
games. Yep.
Rogers, have us out.
Yep.
We're growing. We're going
Yep.
to be the biggest Team Canada
Yep.
hockey source ever.
Mm-hmm. You better sign us before we just take you over. So buy
You know what, Caleb? You said it, not me. So, yeah, Rogers,
That's fair.
we love you. Have us out.
Yeah.
Let's go Team Canada.
Love you, Ted Rogers.
Our early predictions are done.
Yep.
Caleb, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Great episode. Guys, check out the next episode. This is a movement. We are creating a movement here, right, Jake?
We are.
Yep.
We are.
Yep.
Hockey is our sport.
It is our sport.
We look to continue that.
Yep. I don't have any other final thoughts. Love Jonathan Huberdeau. Love our viewers, our listeners. And yeah, stay tuned for next week. We have no clue what we're doing.
No, we don't. You can check us out on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, even all True North Ice
Yes.
on all those platforms.
Mhm.
And even, if you're listening to this on Spirit Live, check out our YouTube where we even
Yes.
got cameras. We got the whole production
Yes, you
going.
can see our face. You don't know who we are. You don't know who we are.
Exactly.
You can see our face.
You don't even know what jersey Caleb was wearing
Exactly. Is it a Jonathan Huberdeau jersey? You got to check it out now.
right now. Exactly. So check
Exactly.
us out. Caleb, want to wrap us up?
Yeah, thanks for tuning in and stay tuned for next week. Peace out, guys.
See ya.